That was new.
Yeah, I like it. I couldn't get it to work. That's what took me so long.
This is enough. Good. I liked it. Worth the wait.
I'm switching programs for the next one, hopefully, so I'll have a proper way of doing this.
Perfect.
What are you going to use next time?
Ecamm is the name of it. It's just way more. It's less user friendly on my side, but it's just way better. It's way more professional, way more streamlined. And if you get it set up the first time, you can kind of make it automated.
Nice.
Is that free?
Yeah. So everything will just fit together better.
Is that free? Is that a free program?
Oh, did we lose him, Aaron? I think we might have. I thought he was just. Did you? Oh, there you are.
This program, man, is just like this. My computer does not like StreamYard.
Oh, weird.
No offense, StreamYard, but
it's worked fine when you've given me the reins. I've never had a problem.
Like it. And I don't know whether it's Apple, like, you know, the way sometimes with an Apple product, like something wrong with it, and then no matter how many times you mess around with it, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I've noticed the more I mess with stuff, like I grew up with PCs and like I could fix any problem, but anytime I have a problem, it doesn't happen very often on my Mac, but when I have a problem, if I try and fix it, I just make it so much worse.
Yep. That's kind of what happens with me every time I have any kind of an issue. This has been the main one. For some reason, this program just with this Mac does not like.
Is StreamYard free?
Amazon guys here. I'll be right back.
Yep. To a degree. Yeah, to a degree it's free as far as I know. And then like I'm on the next level up, but even that, it just doesn't seem to want to work.
Yeah. Does the other one cost?
Yeah,
so but it
works much better.
All right, because eventually we're gonna have to get our own shit going on with that.
I suppose while we're waiting for JP, I guess we'll mention what we were talking about before we went live, the thing that everybody seems to be talking about right now.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing?
I mean, personally, I'm so fucking sick of it. I've muted on Twitter Will, Slap, and Rock. And now, like, I refresh my timeline and nothing happens because that's what everyone's talking about.
Yep.
I just had enough. Like, the jokes it was fun that night.
Yeah, and it's all
now it's just like now you get all these like weird takes and like everyone has their agenda that they're putting onto it, and it's just like fuck off. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you get people like all going all deep on these weird directions that just make me uncomfortable, and I don't need to see. But I mean, it's fucking crazy, obviously. Like that's a wacko thing to do. I mean, it's a hacky joke, and it's a ridiculous response. Like, there's not really any winners here.
Yeah, like, man, and look at like I don't really care either way, whatever, but it just does seem like a crazy response.
You there?
Yep, I'm back again.
Yeah, it's crazy that an assault took place. I mean, that's battery. Like that's a crime that took place, and like there was never a moment where it was like he's gonna get taken out or like he needs to not be there. That's insane.
Yeah. Yep.
Like he should have been like removed from like, and then the fact that he wins too is just like the most perfect. I don't know. I didn't necessarily want him to be removed, but also that's what probably should have happened. Like that's kind of fucked up, and I mean I'm not going to go down that road, but that says a lot about Hollywood and everything that goes on there, because he's like a big enough star that like he can get away with that, and that is a recurring theme and other horrible things that people do.
I found out
we just saw Ezra Miller get arrested like for the second time today, and like DC's like putting there, and he already choked a woman on camera, and they were still trying to build like their entire new universe.
What?
You never saw that?
No.
Yeah, he choked someone. This was a while ago, but then he got arrested again last night in Hawaii.
What did he get arrested for?
I don't know. He was at like a karaoke bar and like flipped out on like this 23-year-old who decided to start singing karaoke at karaoke. I don't know. I just read like a bit of the police report, but like he got arrested again. Like he's a fucking crazy person. That dude sucks. And
DC
they're building like their
entire
universe around him now with that Flash movie.
Not
he already knew he was out. He was unhinged. Like
Yeah.
You even seen that video where he chokes a woman? Like I think the person was being like a douche, like an asshole fan. I mean, that doesn't excuse it,
right?
At all. Like you don't choke anyone, let alone choking a woman. But like, like there's something going on in that guy's head that's not right.
Yeah, he seems very like just based on hearing this, dude. Yeah, he's
okay, right?
Seriously, yeah. Let's
we,
watch this fucked up movie.
Yeah, before we do that,
it is kind of a fucked up movie.
Let's see, right before we watch this movie,
You're Next. I love this movie. Not a horror guy, as I've stated many times.
Next.
This is like a top 20 movie for me. Like just any movie. I love this movie,
and I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about.
Johnny Vincent's awesome. Everything is just.
What is it about it that makes you like it so much?
Because it starts off the way that like I don't want to give too much away. I know Jay hasn't seen it, but like it starts off like a typical slasher movie that I would hate, like creepy masks, like a home invasion, but then it becomes this other thing because it's the final girl type thing, but like again, I don't want to spoil it, but like everything you know what happens with her and like everything that goes on. Like I loved that turn and like here we go.
Whoa, bro.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Do you want to fight? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Whoa, bro.
It's not okay.
Learn it.
Jesus Christ!
Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
So what is happening in this? Like, besides,
I mean, I'd love to see the lead up to it. Not that it justifies anything he did.
Learn it.
Yeah, what's the context there?
I'm sure she was being an asshole. Like again, not justifying that type of behavior. But she was, probably just like in his business, being like an obnoxious fan or something. Like maybe she asked for an autograph or a picture. I don't. There's no reason to speculate. Jamie Foxx is enough. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx has a story like when he was a young up and coming comedian. He was working an event and Denzel was there. And he like ran over to Denzel, and he ran over to Denzel and was just like, "Hey man, I love you so much." And Denzel just put his elbow out right into my throat and just be like, "Calm down, calm down." And Jamie Foxx is like, "I just love you, dude. I just love you."
So that's different though. Like,
yeah,
I mean, there's just never an okay time to put your hands on a woman.
No, never.
This isn't.
Is he like on drugs or some shit there? Like I don't understand.
I think he's just I mean, probably, but like I think there's some
just clearly mentally unwell. Like
there's some brain issues going on. He's a fucking weirdo. Like if you watch him on stuff, like even on very corporate, like he'd be on like the DC fandom, and it's just like there's something just like weird about
him.
Yeah, like your brain works in a different way than, which isn't necessarily a negative, but in this case,
right.
There's plenty of weirdos that are talented and pleasant and friendly and not violent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just clearly he has some pent up
something's going
emotions.
on with that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fuck him.
Seriously, fuck him.
Something I never knew. I had never heard about that.
I hadn't either.
Really? You didn't know that either?
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't really because I wasn't a big fan of him.
They kept it pretty quiet. Like whoever his PR people are, like
DC.
If I ever Yeah, like I've always said that about a couple different like football players who have like done horrible things and nobody knows about it. I'm like, if I ever like get in trouble for anything, I'm finding out who their PR people are because they just make it go away.
I mean, that's the shit they used to do back in the studio system, pre 1970, pre 1960. All these actors, there's some actors that did really fucking despicable things, but hey, a little bit of money.
I was walking on that boat, man. What's he doing on that boat?
Yeah.
Why was he there? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, should we get it? Should we get into this thing?
Let's go. You're next, baby. Count it down. Here we go.
And now, our feature presentation.
Boom.
Play. Oh, I'm excited. Subtitles on. Yes.
This stupid epics thing come up for maybe a couple seconds.
I love this, like, and I feel like he's done a lot of this, especially with like the guest and stuff. And then, with It Follows, this kind of throwback 80s with synth music, and I just love it. It's so cool.
He's a good filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, I mean, cause the easy answer for why I like this was like the kind of turn it on its head kind of thing. But that's not really new. I mean, fuck, we saw that with like Ripley and Alien. Like, it's not really that like new kind of thing,
right?
There's just something about the way it's done. I don't know. It just grabbed me, and I mean, you'll see. Hopefully.
Does anybody remember that game?
I think my movie's all fucked up. Because it was just playing the music. I couldn't hear any. Sorry. Let me. I'll catch up. Yeah, something happened where my movie was all fucked up.
This is a great opening too, because it's like very slasher, very. And there is a reason for it, like.
Kind of has vibes of like The Strangers or something like that.
It Follows. I've never seen that, but I love the concept of that. Like, it's just a weird.
So that's a movie I always heard about. I always see it on like recommended lists and stuff like that. And
I've heard it's
like,
good.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but for a long time I was like reluctant to watch it. I don't know why. I was just kind of like, I just don't know if it's going to be for me. I'm just not going to watch it. And then I actually sat down and gave it the time. Really good.
Yeah.
Like, really, really good movie.
I need to check that out because I know all about it. Like, because
I feel like it had a similar.
But I know about every horror movie like, way more than I should.
It kind of had the same effect, I think, as this had in a way. Where it was just like one of those movies that came out and it's like really good, and you kind of hear about it, but like I don't think anybody actually appreciates how good it is.
Yeah, like it. I mean, it's like not even necessarily like a tangible thing that I can grasp onto. It's just a well-made movie. I mean, and again, I've said it 1,000 times, like competent filmmaking will get me to watch any type of genre, like you watch a competently made documentary about the most boring thing or the thing you give no fucks about, and it's like engrossing and awesome.
And like, I don't know if I'd class this as like straight up horror or whatever, but I kind of like the fact that the horror community have embraced it because
I mean, it's slasher. It's like a home invasion with like brutal murders, and I guess I don't even know. I mean, I would consider it horror, but I'm far from like as a layman. That's actually kind of interesting. I always kind of wondered that, like what like hardcore fans would consider horror.
You see, I feel like sometimes, and I think it's just something that's been created now, this like category of like like a thriller movie or whatever, and they class that like a not really a horror, but in my opinion, it is. It has kind of.
I mean, there's not a lot of like scary stuff, but it's like brutal and graphic. You know, it's brutal and graphic with a lot of murders, but it's not like scary.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, where are you guys at time wise?
Not in the sense that like I'm not gonna be like jumping, like, you know.
I'm at
4:48.
Yep.
Okay, so I probably missed something. What did I?
Yeah, miss? I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of like setting up the feel of it.
Yeah.
Some people were murdered in a house, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because my it was like this. The audio was like super muffled, and I don't know what was going on. It was very weird. So now I'm at 5:15, 5:16, 5:17.
24.
Oh, okay.
So like the premise is like this whole family's going to like, I think they're like rich and they're going to like their family's cabin, something like in the woods. And the scene you missed was basically their neighbors getting murdered.
Oh, God.
They're like out in the middle of nowhere. They're in the middle of nowhere, but those are like the only people anywhere near. So like that's the reason they killed them.
And I love well done movies with a bunch of no names. I love that.
Yeah, everyone's good in this. Like it's just a well made movie. It's just I don't know. I really can't like explain why I love it. Because it seems like something I would hate. Because I don't like a home invasion movie that just makes feel uncomfortable. Like people watching their family members get like brutally murdered. I shouldn't enjoy any of this.
But then the opening scene of Commando is kind of, or not the opening scene, but the big thing of Commando is kind of a home invasion in a way.
Yeah. It's just so well done, man.
There's such a fine line between horror and like classic like action movies. Such a fine line.
I know, it's funny. I never would have thought that, but the more we've watched stuff, it's just like I get it. Like I understand liking horror more than I ever thought I would.
Like I always considered, growing up, I don't know if I would say I considered it that, but I always saw something like RoboCop as like very horror-esque. Like I remember being younger and being like, I think there's a lot of freaky fucking imagery where I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know if I consider it horror, but like there's scenes in that movie that have like fucked me up more than any, and it's my favorite movie of all time. Because it's violent and gory, but like
I mean, even Terminator 2, the arm knife through the head, through the milk jar, through the head. Like, that's fucking brutal. And Aliens, like, that's fucking brutal.
Verhoeven's my favorite director, and like he's all about just like over the top blood and gore and stuff. I think it's like with him, I know it's for a reason. Like he's making a point. So I mean, it's probably a cop out and just like, rationalizing things in my mind. Like I'm okay with this, but not Freddy versus Jason.
Do any of you guys remember the video game Hotline Miami?
No.
Because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm nearly sure I seen, because when this movie came out, I was like huge into it, and I done my usual thing, like I had to see all the interviews and all the behind everything. And I'm really sure the masks from this movie were inspired by the unlockable masks in Hotline Miami.
They are like kind of they're unsettling masks. Like,
let me see.
I think that's what I also, another thing I loved. It's just like you think they're almost like supernatural, like psycho killers, but then it's just like it's actually a really simple reason why they're doing this, and they're more just like they're just like psychos, like having fun with their job. Like they're basically hitmen that are just like going out of their way to be theatric for no real reason. Like it doesn't. I don't know. Fuck, I gotta pee again. God damn it.
Broke the seal.
There we go. Yeah, these are some of the masks that are in Hotline Miami, and I'm nearly sure that some of these are mostly based off of that idea.
Could be.
I definitely remember seeing that somewhere. I gotta go look that up now to see is that actually a thing.
Yeah, to see if it was connected. Yeah. Well, that's what's great about, people like us, like kind of nerds, like nerd movie lovers, and now they're starting to get the reins and be able to make movies and throw in little Easter eggs and homages and stuff like that in movies. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so someone on Reddit had a post. If you're a fan of Hotline Miami, you might like this film.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, Hotline Miami, a top-down shooter video game, revolves around an unnamed character dubbed Jack.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either.
That was in like the time I didn't play video games, like the PS3 era. I missed. I had a 2 and I have a 4, but I wasn't playing video games during that time.
Yeah, and I'm pretty out of the loop when it comes to.
I've been playing more stuff recently, but I went through and played all the Batman games.
So
finally,
good.
Because they were like $9 for like the trilogy of the Arkham games.
They're so good.
Like, yeah. So I know I'm like pissed now because when I finished it, I'm like, now what do I do?
Yeah, I feel like City is the best one. Arkham City.
The second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best one because it's like semi-open world. The third one, there's too much Batmobile.
There's too much fucking Batmobile.
Oh, it's so annoying.
I actually want to play this game now again. I forgot about this. So the character
interest.
The character receives coded messages on his answering machine instructing him to commit massacres against the local Russian mafia.
Holy shit. Hotline Miami.
The game is known for its stealth, extreme violence, and surreal storytelling, along with a soundtrack and visuals inspired by 1980s culture.
Wow.
Amazing.
I've never heard of that.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
The game itself was influenced by 2011 crime film Drive, as well as 2006 documentary Cocaine Cowboys.
It's a great documentary.
That's a fucking great documentary.
I think Drive is really overrated, but I'm kind of in the minority of that. I don't think that's a very good movie.
I think all of his movies before that are great. What's his name? Refn. But all of his movies after that have been like pretentious garbage, personally.
Yeah, I just think he's up his own ass. Like, it looks great, but it's just like a nothing movie to me. And then having Bryan Cranston be like, here's this race car, and his selling point is like, there's a lot of tread on the tires. You know how many tires you go through in a race?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That pissed me off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just nonsense.
I thought it was kind of just like a great 70s, 80s throwback movie.
I remember enjoying it at the time, and then I thought about it more. I'm like, I was just wowed by like certain things, but like this wasn't a good movie. impressive things were done. It's kind of like how I feel about Caddyshack. Like that's a bad movie, but it's got some really funny stuff.
Of course, Bill Murray.
That movie's all over the place. Like they're like Bill Murray and Chevy Chase are in two different movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in the same movie, but they're funny, both of them. And I don't really like Chevy Chase either.
Aaron, have you tried to get AJ on your podcast?
No, I'd love to.
You should. I mean, he's huge in the horror community. You know, he was in Hatchet and bunch of. I mean, The House of the Devil, which was a good one too.
Dude, I love that movie.
The House of the Devil was like really great, fucking really jarring, and
like I love that movie. I listened to a horror podcast called Tales from the Boo Crew, and it's a husband and wife who are like the hosts, and they're like pretty well ingrained in like Hollywood and LA and that whole culture. So like they get crazy guests, like they get Slash and all these like ridiculous people on the show. And their latest episode, they were talking to a guy who has a thing, I think, out in LA, the Oddities Museum or something like that.
Yeah, I think I know what that is. Yeah.
And they were just saying that he was actually, I think he was bidding on the house from that movie in Connecticut. He wanted to buy the actual house to live in because he loved the movie so much.
Well, you know who's a huge.
Comes back in this movie,
what's that?
You know. That blender comes on the blender on the counter comes back in this movie.
Well, you know who's a huge horror fan is Kirk Hammett from Metallica. He's a huge horror, especially classic monster fan, and so is Benicio del Toro.
So he had an exhibit there, Kirk Hammett did a while back, of all his horror props and memorabilia. His own personal collection. And right around that time, I actually managed to get in touch with his agent.
Whoa.
And I was supposed to interview him, and the whole thing just kind of I guess I probably just got lost in like the hundreds of emails.
Yeah. I like him, Joe Swanberg. He's a good director. I like his stuff.
I just love how there's scenes of like no dialogue, but it's just people like watching through the windows. I just love the feeling they set up with all this, because you cut between like ominous stuff like that and then just a family just fucking about, like the new girlfriend, this and that.
I got an email, Aaron, today from Monsterpalooza. At the next Monsterpalooza, they're doing Tim Curry is going to be there signing or handing out photos, signed photos. He's not going to like be autographing them. They're going to be like pre-autographed.
Already signed.
Yeah.
He's got a stamp. He just hits it with.
Well, he's like sick, isn't he? He's like in a wheelchair, and
like he's completely.
I actually didn't know he was still alive.
Yeah.
That's why I'm actually really surprised that because I seen he was in the UK at the big one over here is For the Love of Horror. And he had been at it, and like afterwards I seen like the fans kind of had like a mixed response to you know, it's great that I'm able to pay this money and he's able to keep surviving and doing his thing, but also I felt really weird and bizarre about essentially
you almost feel guilty.
Yeah, you know, a dude who has multiple strokes, he can't really communicate well. His arms and shit are all
there's a level of feeling sad, like like does he want to be doing this, or is like someone pushing him out on stage to do this, like taking advantage of him? Yeah, that I would feel not great about that probably.
Because I had seen some people even said that they paid the money for the photograph or whatever, and just ended up basically meeting him and then being like, "Yeah, I'm fine for I don't need a photo. I just wanted to meet you and whatever."
Yeah, that would just make me sad.
I could see absolutely doing something like that in the moment. Be like, I'm
good.
I have regretted everything right now.
Yeah.
I love Sharni Vincent, by the way. She's amazing.
Who is that?
The bearded douche's girlfriend.
What rich white people names? Drake and Crispin?
Yeah, it's so great. They're just like these blue blood, like douchebag, like wasps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which maybe that's the other thing. Like I've been to like places like this with people like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like so maybe I'm more related to her. like I randomly found myself at like Bush, like the beer, you know,
Yeah.
at one of their
Holy shit, really?
yeah, I was dating this girl in Florida at the time, and like she had a friend, she's like that was part of that family, was like, oh, we're gonna go to a party at her house, thinking like no one's gonna be there. We walk in and it's just like all of them looking like that, like the polos and the sweaters, like in these like giant leather bound chairs with books like everywhere. And we just like walk into like the family sitting there, all just like drinking. We're like, oh no.
That's money. A lot
It
of
was
money.
the funniest, and they were all like very douchey, like waspy, like exactly how you would like picture like asshole rich people like in a movie. It was real. But the funniest part about that for me was they were all in their like hoity-toity, like we're better than you, but they were sitting there drinking Bush Light, every single one of them. It's just fucking hilarious to me. I'm like, you gotta go fuck yourselves.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, that was a really uncomfortable.
I was literally just
fucking hated
that
that.
up.
I got you covered, man.
I was just trying to look that up right now.
Mm. And it looks like now you have his direct email. So there you go.
That'll be a good one. I actually think I might have tried to reach out before, but again, I suppose it's just one of those things. Yeah, it's something I do find a lot is when someone does get in touch with me, it's like 6 months later, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, your message was in like my spam thing." Because sometimes
they even find it.
Yeah, because sometimes I think if both accounts don't follow each other for a certain amount of time, the algorithm just like decides that it's spam.
Well, you have to if they don't. It depends on their settings, you know. Like I know on Twitter, like people can have their DMs open to people who don't follow, and it goes in because I'll get like DMs from people that I don't know, and they'll sit there and like I'll have a notification, I can't figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I'll figure it. It doesn't really direct you towards the place where it actually is. It just keeps saying a number up there. I mean, they're usually porn bots, but still.
Russian porn bots.
Yeah.
So this family is huge. Their family's huge.
Yeah, the whole family's coming. She's just like the waspiest mother, like the white hair. I love it.
Again, I've done my usual thing of talking too much while something's on, but I can't remember
what we always do. That's kind of our thing. Is we start a movie and then we talk for 2 hours about anything other than the movie.
Yeah. What's the premise here then? Why is everybody?
So they're all. I actually can't really remember. They're all like coming for like a family like reunion type thing. I think it has something to do with like inheritances and like who's getting what and this and that because they're all like extraordinarily wealthy and they're all bringing like their girlfriends and things like that.
What was the movie with Hugo Weaving's daughter where it was kind of like a similar thing where it's like a rich family and they play the game and she survives to the end, but then like has all of them explode or whatever?
I've heard that's good, and
it's really good,
like really fucked up and like emotionally taxing. So I never watched it.
It's fucked up, but it's good. Do you know what I'm talking about, Aaron?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I cannot. I'm not.
I'm trying to restrain
usually
myself
I can figure out
looking it up,
make connections in my brain, but I don't have the name of it in my brain. I know I don't.
Yeah. Just for everyone watching, we're at what, 23? What are you guys at?
I'm at 23, 13, 14.
Yeah, and I'm just like a couple seconds behind you.
Yeah, me too.
This is probably the most I've ever watched a movie we've ever done. It's It's been so long since I've seen this. I've only seen it once, and I just fucking loved it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm a filmmaker. That's so exotic.
Yeah, they're all like so condescending and just.
Yeah.
I just know these people. Like every single character, I'm like, I've met you. I know you.
Yeah. Oh, same.
Like I know this family. I know everything that's happening right now. It just hits me on a visceral level.
Oh, what's an underground film festival? Do they show films underground? No, you fucking dingus.
Yeah, it's just such a condescending. Like he knows he's just being an asshole.
And what's funny is that he's a director. Joe Swanberg is a director who makes a lot of really underground films.
Yeah, it's just that, and then all these characters ring true. So he probably knows these types of people too. And that's why they work so well.
So, from what I gather, the family is fractured in some way. I don't even think it explains it, but it just says.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they really explain like
what exactly. Yeah,
I mean, it's just typical like rich
mo
people,
money, mo
like,
problems.
The kids are pieces of shit because they never had to do anything, and they're all like wanting whatever their parents,
what's it say? Aubrey
like,
and
fighting
Paul,
over it, and like I should get this, I should get that, I should get the lake house, I should get the country, I should get the collection of cars.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all entitled pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a wedding anniversary, and they decide to get them all together.
That's it. It's an anniversary.
They bring them all together to try and get everybody to like get along again or something like that.
Yeah, try to like, because they're all horrible.
They do a good job here, I will say, of like the characters bouncing off each other, and like a lot of them seem unlikable. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, they're all horrible, and it's just fucking perfect. They would be. They're all a bunch of like never worked a day in my life, like kind of like Succession kids,
Yeah. And they're rich entitled people because they actually use semantics in a sentence.
yeah, they're like using like it's SAT like prep words, like just like trying to sound smarter than they are to justify their inflated sense of self-worth.
Oh, Tariq sees something outside.
Not gonna lie, right? If something I like this setting for a movie as well. I kind of like that like isolated home invasion kind of movie. I don't care what I have with me or how many people are there. If that shit started happening to me, I would shit my pants.
Whoa!
I would shit my pants. I know, like a lot of times we like to say, oh, I'd grab that thing and I'd fucking grab swords off the wall and I would shit my pants.
Oh, shit myself.
I don't even know if I'd understand. Like my brain would be able to comprehend if it was real. I'd be like, someone's fucking with me. Like
who's playing a joke?
Especially if it's the guy I don't know. I'd be like, oh come on.
And that shit's way more graphic as well than like somebody getting shot with like a bullet. I feel like that.
Yeah, the fact that they start off with just like arrows and crossbows or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Ooh, he got it like right in the spine.
I like as well how they kind of illustrate how hard those arrows are being shot through that crossbow.
Like that like sound, that percussion or whatever.
Yeah, that it's not like as because I think sometimes you're led to believe in movies that have something like that an arrow.
Yeah, they like pull barely back on the bow, and it's just like all of a sudden that's going straight through someone. Like, no, there's some force, there's some pressure, pounds per square.
Yeah, and if you get hit,
PSI,
you're going to be fucked.
That.
They're rich white people. They don't have guns somewhere.
And I love Sharni. She's just like under the table immediately.
like at that point, I don't know which character I am there. I'm just like trying to imagine him like hide somewhere, just get out of the fucking room. I don't care. Grab him by the hair and just drag him.
Just the fact that like it's happening to your family too is just like another level of upsetting. You know,
another thing,
if you're just in like a room of like in a restaurant and that happens with strangers, it's upsetting enough. But the fact that it's like your entire family,
yeah,
like that goes to a different level.
That's something that always freaks me out in these movies as well, where they're sitting like with their backs to windows and stuff, and there's no curtains, nothing's pulled across, and they have lights on, so you can't really see out.
What's on the outside? Yeah,
always freaks me out, man.
Yeah, that's yep. I mean, at that point, you crawl up to it and close the curtains, right?
You would imagine
that's the logical. Again, you're probably not thinking logically.
Or at least move away from the windows. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, they're trying to get out of the room.
Ooh, don't pull it out. Don't. Isn't that what they say? Don't pull it out.
Yeah, and
unless
the thing I
you
like
have the equipment to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
I guess it also depends on like where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact though that they're all pretty human here, and they're kind of showing like it's not as simple as like, you know, you're not going to be like Arnie in Predator and just like pulling bullets out. And just
they're all terrified. Like,
all of a sudden, regular people are going to be fucked.
A family dinner has just like been interrupted by brutal murder. Like, you're not ready for that. I think like anytime you go for Thanksgiving or like Christmas dinner and this just happens, you'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What does she have in her hand? A poker?
Yeah, from a fireplace. So I love that. She immediately grabs a weapon.
I got this fucking arrow in my back. Oh. I'm not fat anymore. Oh, Jesus.
She's just trying to calm them all down. She's like, you fucking idiots.
No, don't let your daughter run. Just fucking stay there and keep trying to. Okay.
Are you doing that? Are you going for the
No?
I mean, it's people panicking, right?
Yeah, it's like, hey, let's run to the car. That's a fucking terrible idea. No. And especially as a father, I'm not letting my daughter go out there. No.
I'm not letting any of my kids go out there.
No. If anything, I'd go. But, you know, they're better off just staying
right, you hunker down for a minute till you figure it out.
Hunker down, find a room, all of you are together, any weapons you can.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of you.
Yeah, clearly she's fucked right now.
Oh, there was like a piano wire just right outside.
I don't know what it is about that as well. That just makes me feel fucking horrible.
Yeah.
She gets clotheslined on the neck by a piano wire.
Yeah, and it's not your usual. Yeah, I like the way it's not.
You're not ready for it.
Yeah.
You think she's gonna get hit by a crossbow bolt, and then all of a sudden, it's just
for some reason I had an idea it was something to have to do with like her head or like something getting chopped off.
I think the good part about that scene and what I like is when she runs into it, it doesn't do your classic horror movie thing and just slice her head off.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what would actually happen.
Just like a huge gash.
Yeah.
Yeah, just slits your throat.
Oh, Jesus. And she's just like fucking cool as a cucumber. She's like,
there's reasons for it too. That's the other thing I like. It's not just like she's just all of a sudden a badass for no reason. Not that I'd necessarily have a problem with that either, because that happens all the time in movies. But I like that they gave a reason for why, like, she knows what she's doing. Like, a very believable reason. Which also works with why she doesn't fit in with, like, the Blue Bloods, because she had a certain upbringing. So, of course, he's uncomfortable in a place like this.
Hello. Is she Australian? Second floor is clear.
Yeah, she's Australian.
That's one accent I have like a lot of trouble doing.
I don't know if I'm going to get right by the front door.
No, I wouldn't be. I'd be upstairs.
She's right, and she's like, that's what she's trying to get him to go to the second floor. She's like, let's go up there. Like
higher ground. Higher ground.
But we also find why there's a reason for all of this descent.
The idea of that, though, and not just in this movie, but in all of the movies that have a similar trope, it always fucking freaks me out, is the idea of being, in a house or at something and like all the doors and windows are unlocked and just all that shit. And then something happens and it's like, shit, why don't I have the doors locked?
Yeah.
I locked
you're
my door.
in an everyday situation that all of a sudden becomes horrific. Like that. I always talk about RoboCop, but that's why the Kinney scene, boardroom scene, always fucks me up, because that is just a regular, safe, physically safe situation, and all of a sudden you're getting brutally murdered in it. Like when you put it yourself in a normal, everyday, everyone's been in it, like there's no danger whatsoever, and then all of a sudden it's horrific danger. That's so terrifying to me. That's scarier than any hockey mask killer, like anything.
Well, that's what made the original Halloween so scary, is because that was the first movie that took place in the suburbs, and it was just like, this can happen fucking anywhere.
Yeah,
but also
it's like you're at home, you're like safe there. You're at work, you're safe there. Like that's why these things are terrifying.
Yeah. Maybe I'm paranoid, or maybe I've seen too many movies, but my windows and doors are always fucking locked.
I got bars on my windows.
Yeah, you're good.
Baby.
You're goal. Yeah, baby.
I'm also on the ground floor, but still.
Yeah, I'm on the ground floor, but I'm in a like a 12 like an 8 apartment little complex. So it's like a locked gate out front, and then so you have to get through like one big gate to get to my door. But my door's always fucking locked, always.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah, my door locks when I just close it.
A couple of years back, I was all my family, I think, were in the States at the time, and I had stayed here, and I was actually in this room. I'm in right now, but it was before at the time I was like a huge gamer, PC gaming, and I remember sitting up here, and it was like, I think it was like a Saturday night.
Whoa! Yeah, I love it. Fuck you, Wolfman.
I actually forgot how good this movie is.
I know, I told you. I love those masks, man.
Yeah, they're really hard to get.
Just so unnecessary. But for some reason it works in this.
It's just like,
especially when you like get through it and you like find out they're just like normal people. For some reason that just, because right now they're just like, they might as well be like Jason in a hockey mask, like, because you don't understand what's going on, and it starts off almost like a supernatural, like freaky thing, and then it's just like real.
Whoa!
I don't know. Yep, their parents are dead.
Whoa!
There's a line that's coming up. I hope I don't miss it, about the parents being dead and something that happens on the bed. I don't know if Aaron remembers that. I'll try to make sure to point it out. It's so upsetting.
Oh.
That's like the mom going to just like go lie down. That's like Evie going to take a nap in The Mummy.
Yeah, like what are you
What are you
doing?
doing? There's a mummy on the loose.
Yeah, not a great idea. And then this guy, fucking Drake, is walking around with an arrow in his fucking back. And why is she in there alone? Hello, don't leave each other alone right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way I would last through this situation.
No. You'd fare pretty good because you've got the jujitsu thing.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about a second ago. So I was here one night at like 2 a.m. on a Saturday night, and obviously there's nobody in the house. There should be nobody around. You know, it's late at night. So I'm like sitting up watching a movie or something like that. The next thing I hear the doorbell.
Nothing.
Right now, right? I was like,
Grew up where the doorbell was a normal thing. Now I'm like, I like shit myself. If someone rings my door, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know why, but instantly, like the hairs on my arms just stood up straight. Like,
of course. Yeah,
my bubble puckers.
Who is ringing a doorbell at 2 a.m.? And so I sit there. I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, I'll just not answer it, sure. That's fine. Then I don't have to deal with whatever problem it is. And then it rings again and again and again. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's somebody.
Yeah, my first move is always don't answer.
Yeah, so I go down to, I'm on the 3rd story right now. So I go down to the 2nd floor and I go into one of the spare bedrooms and I look out through the window, which I can kind of look out and down at the front door. Nobody there. Okay, right? So I'm like, oh, maybe it was just the doorbell
malfunctioning.
Yeah, maybe I was like, okay,
trying to find a reason in your brain
why
this is happening.
Like kind of got over it. I was like, oh, it's fine, whatever, it's okay. So I come back up, and like 20 minutes or so go by. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
It's probably it was probably just some fucking shithead kid.
Yeah, right. So
playing
I was like,
a prank. Yeah,
there's kids like playing a joke on me. I know there is. I know there is. That's definitely what it is. But I go down again anyway, like super fast this time. I go to the 2nd floor and like pop my head out, look down, nobody. And I'm like looking up and down the street and I'm like, where the fuck are these motherfuckers going?
Yeah, that would make
in God's name. So I come back up again.
I would have been camping out, just waiting up there.
Like 5 minutes past it, right?
Because I'd have to know. I wouldn't be able to sleep until I knew.
This doorbell starts howling again. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go down to the 2nd floor. I get the baseball bat. And as I'm coming down the stairs to the 1st floor, the doorbell is ringing and somebody's knocking the front window. Right?
The window's the creepiest part.
Yeah.
The creepiest part about this is, right, there is no way it could have been one person because the doorbell is here.
Yeah, that's when it's like, oh no.
Amount of space. So there's no way that one person could ring the bell and knock.
Right.
So at this point, I am shitting my pants.
Yeah, of course.
I have this baseball bat, and I'm like, I don't know why I have the baseball bat, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like doing like some fucking like Call of Duty. I'm like crawling through the hallway in the dark. I'm like, I don't want anyone to know I'm here. So then if they break in, I can like smash their head in with the bat or something straight away.
Yeah.
So I go into the front room and I'm like, there's like curtains pulled, but I can kind of see shadows. And I'm like looking and I see people walking by or hear anything. And I don't see or hear anything, but I'm too afraid to like peer out in case there's like fucking face right there.
Yeah.
So I'm like texting some people that live near me and I'm like, the fucking doorbell here keeps going. There's like someone knocking the windows. I was like, I'm freaking out. And like some of the guys were like, you know, do you want us to come by and like, you know, we'll pick each other up or something and come up and check out if. And I was like, look, let me leave it for a while and I'll see if anything more happens, maybe.
Yeah.
So I come back
for me in 20 minutes.
Yeah. So I come back up again now. At this point, I'm fucking freaked out.
Of course.
And I hear this shit
I'd be
again.
to the point where I hear the door and I'm just like kick it open with the baseball
Yeah.
bat. Like, fuck it, I
So-
can't. Like the waiting is the worst part.
Yeah, well, that was what was happening to me when it would go silent. It was nearly worse. So then I hear the
So
doorbell
just like,
go
when's it
again,
gonna happen? So just like fucking get it over with.
and I'm like, right,
yeah,
I'm not going back down. I'm like, I'm not going back down. And in this, this is an attic, a converted attic. There's one of those like skylight windows that you can open out.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up here and I hear the doorbell ring, and then everything goes silent for a couple of minutes, and I'm just listening. I'm just sitting here, I have everything switched off, and I'm just sitting in the dark, just listening to see can I hear anything. And I hear noise out in the back. Right, so this window is facing out into like our backyard, and I'm like, the fuck? That sounded like steel or like galvanized, and I was like, that's strange because out we have like a shed or whatever you want to call it out the back, has a galvanized roof, and I was like, So I pull the blind down on the window and I barely crack it open with the lights off so I can look out. Nobody can see that I'm looking out.
Yeah, you gotta
Dude,
turn the lights off.
I swear to God, I look out and like, so you got like the roof of the shed, and then behind it there's like I don't know what you guys would call it over there, like a ditch. It's just like fucking trees and shrubs and weeds, and it's like all up the back of the thing. Yeah, like, and it's like huge, and there's all these big trees. There is a motherfucker with his hood up, standing in the middle of all this shit, and all I can see is just this white hood at the corner of the back shed. Instantly closed the window, got the phone, and called the cops straight away. I was I was like, I'm about to get murdered. I was like, they're ringing the front doorbell, and I think he's trying to distract me to like break in the back door.
Jesus.
I was like, I'm either going to be dead or I'm going to end up stabbing a lot of people out of pure panic.
Yeah.
So I was like, you need to like do something quick because I am about to shit my pants.
The cops
and like
come and everything?
And, yeah, like they drove up and I could see them drive into like, there's like a churchyard kind of behind. And like I could see them drive in there. They got out with flashlights. They went through everything because there's a fire station right there as well. They all came out. Everybody was like bringing lights around. They come down through the whole street. They walk around. They call to the house. And I never found out what was going on. Or
that's fucking terrifying.
A couple of houses were actually robbed in this like neighborhood around that same time. There was an old lady's house robbed. They kicked the back door in, and then there was another.
That's the thing. That's why they're ringing the doorbell to see if anyone was home.
And that's what was freaking me out because there was an old couple that lived a couple of doors.
Because they didn't want to come in if someone was there with a baseball bat.
Yeah. And the husband was like completely deaf. And they knew his wife used to go out and do grocery shopping in the mornings. So when she went out, they got into his backyard and kicked his back door in. But obviously he's deaf, so he's in like
can't hear shit.
He can't hear shit. They're in the house, like smashing the whole house up, stealing everything. He walks out into the kitchen and they're all there.
Oh God.
He has no idea. I think he actually had a heart attack or some sort of like on the spot just fell down. And then like all these guys ran off and I don't ever know what happened. But I'd like to say like I had a story of like, you know, I was like fucking G.I. Joe and dude, I shit.
Well, no. I mean, you did everything anyone would have done.
When I was I lived in this studio apartment that it was just the street and then you walk up like 10 stairs and that's my apartment. So it just led right out to the street. One night it was like 1 a.m. I had just partaked in a little bit of legal marijuana out here in Los Angeles, California. And it's like 1 a.m. And all of a sudden I start hearing a woman screaming, like bloody murder screaming. And she's going, help, help, don't touch me, help me, help me. And I'm just going, oh my God, what's going on? And
I never know what to do with that because it's like, is this bait?
I used to keep
actually needs help? Like,
I had a broken curtain rod, like a broken wooden curtain rod next to my door that was like the size of like a baseball bat. And so I'm like sitting there. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? And she's still screaming. She's screaming bloody murder. I open the door and it's some drunk as fuck chick running from the police. And the police are like going, ma'am, calm down, calm down. And she's like swatting at him and going, don't touch me, help. And she's like rolling around on the ground and she's hammered. It was insane. And my neighbor who has a little kid was like yelling at her going, shut up, bitch, my kid, you woke my kid up. And the little girl is like crying and whoa, she's a badass.
Yeah. I love this because now they like become human.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, like before they're just like entities.
Mm-hmm.
The which mask?
My last apartment didn't have a peephole.
It was like a kitten cat mask or what something.
I think there's one of them that has a tiger mask. That the character, the guy that plays that, is actually the guy who wrote the movie.
Oh shit! Okay.
So my last apartment didn't have a peephole, which is like the worst thing when someone comes banging on your door when you're not ready for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how they unmask. So now it's like these are people again. Like there's that air of.
Whoa,
especially when like the guy sat down on the couch a while ago. Mm-hmm. He had the mask on, but he also had like a tactical vest on.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about that juxtaposition I really enjoy.
When you mention peepholes there, I remember our old front door. We used to have one. And like I can remember like a handful of times, you know, maybe at night or something, somebody would ring the doorbell or knock the door. Mm-hmm. And then I would walk out and like we had glass at either side of the front door. So they could clearly see that someone was coming to the door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Every time I used to look out that peephole and I'd see like a dude or two dudes and I wouldn't know who they were. Mm-hmm. And just that weird like anxiety of like there is literally, you know, just this between us right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I always do the quick look.
Yeah.
I've just seen too many movies where they put like if I can't see light the second I look out, my head's back.
Yeah. Like,
well, that's
like who's coming for me? No one's coming for me.
But that famous mafia hitman that they did a whole HBO doc series on, the Iceman. That's what he would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's perfect. Like the second I don't see, like now I have like this little thing I pull down and then I can look. Like I have to. It's like a little shutter. It's so old.
Yeah.
But like I can see light coming through. So if there's no light when I pull that down, I'm not looking through that shit. I'm also lucky I have a dog who has like she's the sweetest thing in the world, but she has a really scary bark. Mm-hmm. Most people, once you hear a dog, they're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially a dog with like, because if they hear they're like, okay.
But she's got like a
yeah.
Like she scares people because like when she's happy, she barks. But if you don't know her, that's a scary bark.
Yeah.
She's like 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure if like I was in danger, she'd rip someone apart.
Mm-hmm.
But she's never done anything violent in her life. She's passed out right there. She's never bit me or anybody else. I don't think she knows how. So I do wonder. I hope I never have to find out. But I'm pretty sure she'd have my back.
Of course.
Years ago, I remember being here one night and like out of nowhere, I'm like watching a movie or something. It's like late at night, and I hear all this like chainsaw noise. That's fucking graphic.
Whoa.
This starts to take another turn. This movie has a number of turns, and I love it.
Mm.
You have Shawnee, who's like a badass, and then like here's about to be another turn.
Like right now in this scene?
Yeah. Because why aren't they afraid?
And that's his son, right?
Yup. And the killer just did that, so.
Whoa. Because like his dad was clawing for. Because the dad was clawing.
Yeah, because of course it's your
Was
son.
clawing at him, and he was like had this like disgusted look on his face, like ew, don't touch me.
Yep, because he's behind it all. What his girlfriend says to him later on in this movie is one of the most fucked up things.
Do we know the person behind the wolf mask yet?
I don't think you've seen him yet. But I just love how they're just like, once that mask comes off, it's just like some fat loser. Like, you know, like not scary at all. But the mask just adds this gravitas to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pee again.
So what were you saying though, Aaron? About then you heard like a chainsaw outside or something?
Oh yeah. So I hear this chainsaw noise, and I'm like sitting there going, am I just fabricating this in my head now? Because I've just watched
too many movies.
And I'm like, I'm staying up because at that point, like I used to stay up like late at night, and I wouldn't watch movies until late to try and like, I don't know, like freak myself out or whatever.
Yeah. Sure.
I was like, maybe I'm like taking this like too far or too serious. I'm like starting to
like psychosomatic or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, no, I can definitely hear something, and I don't know why. Like, because I was probably like a stupid character out of a movie.
Yeah.
I decided that the best thing to do would be to put my shoes on, get my phone, open the front door, and go see what the noise is. So I'm like walking down the street at like, 3, 4 a.m. But at the time I wasn't really actually that afraid. So I started to record like, point of view. I'm walking and like I'm talking to the camera. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I live in like I suppose you could call them like the suburbs. And like, it's like 3 a.m. and there's like this crazy chainsaw sound. And I was like, there isn't going to be any like work going on, like no building site that's operating at 3 a.m. in like the suburbs. I was like, so what's going on? So like I search around a little bit, but then I get too freaked out. I get to the end of the road and I'm like, you're kind of looking up the road. There's no cars. There's nothing. I just like one street light. Okay, yeah, I've had enough. Time to go back to the house. So I post the thing on YouTube at the time, and like out of nowhere, this thing gets like 60, 70, 80,000 views. And like everyone's like, what the fuck is that? And all where's part 2 and this and that? And then people were like, oh, that's a cool idea for a found footage and all this shit, right? And it ended up right. I got that many messages and that much abuse for not putting up what actually happened. I ended up finding out the next day or the next night that there was actually roadworks not far from here. And they were doing it at night for some reason.
They do a lot of construction road work at night here too, because during the day there's just so much traffic and it would fuck traffic up.
And that's why but in my head, for some reason, that didn't seem logical. I was like, there is no work at 3 a.m. So I was like, who has a chainsaw at 3 a.m.?
Yeah, that's insane.
But it ended up being, it just ended up being roadworks.
The light through that keyhole is so great.
So cool. Really great shot.
Oh, that's such a great shot.
The fact that you can, and I know it's just something stupid and simple, but the fact that you can actually see his head when he has the mask on.
Yes, I know. That's the thing. Like, and then he'll like take it down for a second, and like you'd see his face, like to humanize, like.
And you could hear him screaming and stuff too. It's like,
it's just
get him. Yeah,
because they start off as like a Jason hockey mask, like, oh my god, this is like a crazy killer, but then it's like, no, there's just fucking dickheads that put silly masks on.
I'm surprised nobody has barfed yet. Usually somebody has barfed at this point.
Yeah, I probably would have puked.
Yeah, totally.
I don't do well with
blood.
Not that I've seen like a bunch of horrific violence in
Yeah,
front of me, or anything even close to this, but
usually blood doesn't bother me. It's sorry, TMI. It's like if someone like hawks a loogie in front of me, that makes me like gag uncontrollably.
Yeah, if someone starts puking and it's like,
Oh, that's like my nightmare.
Yeah.
I had that happen one time in a cab. We were in like a minivan kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the guys that we were with was like really drunk, and he started honking in the back of this thing.
Oh no!
And like the driver had like he didn't realize what was going on because it was like people were talking, there was music playing, and he didn't really realize at the time. But he had the heat on full blast. It was around winter time, so then heat and like the smell of
my dog. I have a space heater going. My dog just walked by it earlier today and farted right in front of it. So I feel you. What a fucking legend she is. She's amazing.
She's like, fuck you. Fuck you, Dad.
Fuck you, dude.
That's amazing. I got it. I loved Sweet D before, but now I love Raven.
She's king of the world.
Mm-hmm.
She's too sweet for this world.
Mm-hmm.
But she plays jokes on me like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know she did that on purpose. I know she did.
Of course.
I know she did.
She's like, oh yeah, you haven't paid me enough attention today.
Oh, that's exactly what it was. She tried to wake me up in the middle of the night to go out at like 3 a.m. I was just like, no.
No.
3 in the fucking morning. What are we doing here? She showed me. She always gets her revenge.
I'm liking this. This is good.
It's so good, man.
Yeah.
See, now we find out how, like...
Oh, here we go.
And I like her, like, mining for information. It's exposition, but that character is in on this, so she's like, how do you know all this? Like, it's like dual purpose, you know? Like, everything moves the story along, even when we're just getting exposition like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still that character being shady, being like, oh, okay, like, I need to learn more about you because you're throwing a wrench into all of this plan here.
Yeah, it's like what's it called? Like Hannah, or you remember Hannah?
I never saw Hannah.
Yeah, that was a good one. It's like Hannah, or even Damian Wayne for that matter. You know, it's like kids' brains are just such sponges, and it's just like they're gonna remember and learn so quickly and learn anything. It's just
I kind of like it, but I'm surprised. Well, no, actually, it wouldn't fit with the story. But the fact that there's been no real guns or anything involved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that would have been like the only thing that would have been a positive takeaway from that dinner scene. Was like they're using arrows, so that means they don't have guns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that might be foolish, but I feel like I could deal with that better than...
Oh, shit.
Just guts him in his stupid little mock turtleneck.
I know. Oh, Jesus. And this is his brother.
Mm-hmm. That's the plan.
Oh, to get all the money?
Yeah, like him and her like hired all these people.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Would you just die already? Like, that's the best spoiled, like, rich boy, like, entitled, like, would you just die already? This is so hard for me. Like, you're killing him. It's not hard for you, you piece of shit.
Oh, damn.
So
Damn. He's
perfect.
like a fucking pincushion.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just that line, this is so hard for me. So good. Oh, she's like going home alone on their asses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they told him the dad's still alive upstairs.
You can go together.
I love her so much.
It's like some mafia shit. You know, you're going to kill your rich family so you can get all the money.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
I just love how weaselly he is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I really wouldn't fare well in this situation at
Me
all.
neither. Me
Like,
neither.
I'm just sitting here thinking about that story I told about like the doorbell ringing. I was like, I
Mhm.
nearly had a meltdown over somebody knocking the window.
Well, dude. That's because nobody does that shit anymore. If anybody knocks on my door and I'm not expecting food
yeah,
or an Amazon package, I'm like, who the fuck's at our door? Who the fuck?
yeah.
You know?
I just assume
Yeah,
it's
You know?
something... Like,
it's
best case scenario, it's like someone trying to sell you something. That, like, I'm in a
Yeah.
conversation I don't want to be in.
Exactly.
Like,
and I feel like that's the
some, like,
default
religious
feeling.
nut, like, being like, here's a good word.
Mhm.
Or, like, trying to sell you vacuums or something. Oh!
And I feel like that's like the default reaction for everybody.
Whoa. She's a fucking badass. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna
Awesome.
jump out this fucking window.
Yeah. I'm gonna die hard this window, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
She kind of choked.
Hans!
Hans! We're about to get, like, my favorite part of the movie. Which, it's not really my favorite part. It's just so fucked up. Can't forget it.
Excuse me.
I was wondering, I couldn't remember enough. I was wondering how they got to the point where that could be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Swede?
Oh, the Swede. Hello?
I did a show with Swede that, like, didn't record any of his audio.
Bummer.
We talked about Freaky. I'd never seen Freaky.
I haven't either. I need to watch it.
Kind of good. It's kind of fun.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Kind of fun.
Great idea.
I really want to see
Yeah.
the director and writer of I can't remember what it was. He retweeted it the other day on Twitter, and they've been like knocking this idea around for a long time now of getting Blumhouse to do Freaky Death Day somehow.
Oh, a mashup of
yeah. The body swap, but also the time loop.
Yeah, the time thing. Yeah,
he talked a lot about Happy Death Day.
That's a lot of rules.
Sweet did. I hadn't seen
That's
that.
a lot of rules.
That's kind of... I'm here for it.
It's genius, but it's just like the writer of that is going to be so fucking frustrated. He's like, okay, have they switched yet? All right, the fuck's going on here?
Came up with a horror movie idea while on that recording, by the way. I don't know if he was humoring me, but I liked it.
Excuse me. This is random. Speaking of fucked up things, I watched the first episode of Euphoria last night. Have you guys watched that show?
I can't do it.
Dude.
The premise of it makes me uncomfortable.
Dude, it's fucking
I love Zendaya too, but like,
yeah, she's great. It's fucking gnarly. It was like not a great thing to watch before bed. And I can deal with fucked up dark shit, but that is like, it's really fucked
something
up.
about like that in like high school and fucking idiot. Dumb shit.
Yeah. Ooh, fuck. He marved it.
Yeah, right? I just love like the evil bad guys just like being fucked up like that. Like having the tables turned on them.
My cousin did that. He stepped on a railroad tie, and he stepped on a railroad tie nail, and the nail went all the way through his foot, through his shoe, and through his foot, and through the top of his foot, through the top of his shoe.
I shouldn't have a toe somewhere because Brian McMillan's house, we were playing football behind it, and there was a piece of rebar sticking up. It went through my shoe, in between my big toe and the toe next to it, straight through. But that would have taken off, I mean,
easily,
either left or right, and it went straight through. And it was just like poking out. I was like, whoa,
ooh, fuck.
So I shouldn't have.
Oh, is this the part? Ew.
What?
Ew.
Oh! I see your dead mom.
Ew.
That's so fucked up.
Ew. God.
Next to your
Why is that
mom.
even a thing?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Ew. Gross.
Yep, that was the scene. That was it. Yikes. Jesus Christ.
That makes me feel icky.
Yes. Disgusting. So upsetting. Ugh.
The just when we were talking about Freaky and Happy Death Day and stuff there, the guy who wrote Freaky, Michael Kennedy, he has a new movie coming out. I think it's in post-production at the minute, called Time Cut. And there's no real details on like exactly what it's about, but I seen an interview with him a couple of weeks back, and he said that the best way he could explain it is Back to the Future meets Scream.
Whoa. Who's doing that again?
The guy who wrote Freaky, Michael Kennedy.
Okay.
And apparently, like, I've seen rumblings of people talking about it and saying like that it's supposed to be pretty good.
Wow. Okay. Nice. We'll have to stream that once it comes out.
Yeah, there's no release date yet. It just says 2022. My subtitles are gone way out of sync now.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
So like, it's coming up going like, I want you to fuck me on the bed or whatever.
While he's getting manhandled.
What?
That's fantastic. You need to like take screen grabs of that because that's
what I just looked at it and was like, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, he's joking about, I want you to fuck.
Yeah, sweet. It's the Euphoria. It's really crazy. Just like the acting in the show is so great. But I just think about that. I'm like, man, high school was not like that for me. I don't know if it's because we grew up in Iowa or we weren't hanging out with the right people. I don't know.
Yeah. But ugh. I mean, we grew up in a place where you didn't need to lock your doors at night.
Yeah. Emergency message received. So yeah, she was right. So basically, he hired the shithead brother hired a bunch of ex-military guys to fucking kill his family, and then he'd be the only one that survived it, and he'd get all the money.
That's the ticket.
Mm-hmm. I guess I thought it was that the family was a bunch of killers that killed her family, and she was getting revenge on them. That's, I guess, what I thought it was.
Interesting.
But no, this is great.
That would be interesting too, though. To to infiltrate like a family that like killed. That's actually kind of interesting an idea too.
So where's Crispin? Do we know where he is yet?
He like took off to go get help.
Okay.
I feel like obviously maybe not as high a scale or whatever, but those masks are so simple and so cheap looking. But I feel like that they're really effective, and they're like at least within the horror community, they're like pretty iconic.
Yeah, totally.
They're terrifying, but that's what I love. Like they're so simple and scary, but then you see the face.
I wonder if they were
made out of, I love that shot of her with the axe.
I wonder if they were made out of like hard plastic or like silicone.
I bet it's just like regular plastic. Like just cheap ass shit.
Just like a regular Halloween mask.
Yeah. Like with the tiny little elastic band.
The ones that like scratch the shit out of your face.
Yeah, because they're just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I love this music.
I love the synth music, man.
I turn it up. Can't help myself.
We got to watch The Guest too.
So good.
So good.
God, this is so Home Alone.
And there's a funny news clip because Dan Stevens, the guy who plays the lead, he plays an American, but he's a Brit. And he goes on an English talk show, and she's like, "How many did you have to beat off a lot of American men to get this role?" And he starts laughing, and she's like, "What? Did you have to beat him off? Do you have to beat off a lot of them?" And the guy's like, "How many guys did you have to like win the role over?" And Dan Stevens is like, "Okay." And they're just fucking dying laughing. It's great.
It's funny that like we speak the same language, but there's still a language barrier.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
God, I love this movie.
It's a good one. Nope.
I mean, I know it's for like effect, but I would have taken that mask off a while ago. You got to figure that impedes your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this point, it's just her.
Oh, totally. You kind of have like tunnel vision in a sense because you've only got these two
I
little
would hate
eye
to have a
holes,
mask
like, right
or a
there.
helmet on or something.
Mm-hmm. If anything, you should have like a, what do they call those? Like a balaclava or something? You know, like a like a stocking cap that you put over your that has the holes in the eyes,
or a domino mask. Like
like Robin. Like, dude, I know who you are. I can see you. You're just covering your eyes. No, you don't. You don't know me.
You're not even covering your eyes. It's just like a little bit around it. You're clearly
remember when I can't remember specifically where I've seen it, but I know I've definitely I don't think I'm dreaming this up about like when someone will pull like a like a pair of women's tights.
Yeah, because it like smushes your face. You put pantyhose.
One that would like, I don't know why, but years ago I used to find that shit freaky.
Oh yeah,
because it distorts your face. It smushes you up like a Picasso painting.
So she has the camera set up, so it's just taking pictures.
It's just, I think it's just as like a strobe to blind him.
Oh yeah.
Like in
Kick-Ass.
Yeah, exactly like Kick-Ass. That's exactly what I was going for. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we share the same brain, JP.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason you should have gotten Kick-Ass out of that.
Because I know we watched
do that
it
with
recently,
you all the time too, but
yeah. Whoa, she fucked this guy up.
Yeah,
whoa.
That's such a great with the flashes.
So there's only one guy left, right?
I think she killed all the guys. I think it's just the brother and
the brother and his fucked up girlfriend.
Yeah, but he's got a crossbow.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, that makes sense because there he is. Go serrated.
Ooh.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Her little smile.
Ugh. Freaks.
Yeah.
Here's a random question, and I'm gonna preface the whole thing with this is only this isn't a serious question. This is only a bit, let's say, that we're doing, so YouTube can't fucking pull me down or I can't get everything banned. Do you think that you could kill somebody? Like, genuinely, like, honestly. Now, I don't mean go out and just murder a random stranger or whatever, but I often think about being put in a situation, maybe not as extreme as that, but like, someone's breaking into your house or someone's attacking you and you get kind of put in that life or death situation.
In the right situation, yes.
Like, if it's to defend exactly. I don't want to, but if it's
my family or my friends or my dog.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And you've given me no choice other than this is my only course of action. Yes. And you know what? I wouldn't feel bad about it either. Like if I knew, like if I was very 100% sure you were there to kill someone I cared about, then yeah. And I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep over it.
Yeah, to defend my family or whatever.
Yeah, my family and my friends or my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not even like I wouldn't have a hesitation. Like if that was my only recourse.
Oh,
like all other avenues. Blender.
Whoa!
Yes, told you the blender came back.
Oh!
I actually forgot about that.
I told you the blender came back.
Holy
I didn't think I was spoiling anything with that
fucking
because
shit.
you couldn't have figured that was going to happen. I just wanted you to remember the blender.
Oh God.
Incredible.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
I love that. For no reason.
Whoa.
I don't know why.
Whoa.
The idea of that seems like way more grim as well than like stabbing her in the chest or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
her in the
There's
head.
something about stabbing someone in the head that's just so upsetting.
Yeah.
I mean, stabbing in general is upsetting, but I don't know what it is about it.
Holy fuck.
I love that scene just in the kitchen.
I like as well though how
Like the
even
old
though,
ass hand towels, like
Mhm.
like even
surrounded
though
by
she
two
uses a
brutally
blender,
murdered people.
it's not like, I suppose it's an over the top kill, but at the same time they don't go too far into it, like where his like eyes and brains and everything are
Yeah.
going over. It's
I mean,
kind
that
of realistic.
shitty little like Hudson Bay blender wouldn't have done that. They
Mhm.
needed like a ninja or something, but still. It should have been a Vitamix. Let's be
Oh,
real.
Crispin was in on it too. Oh fuck.
I'm a pacifist.
What a fuck.
I like that because it just kind of seems like, okay, now we've kind of gotten the movies over.
Mhm.
Yeah, but then
really
it's
left.
like, oh wait, there's one loose end. Oh, it's so good. That's so good. Yes.
I heard everything you said, you fuck.
Oh. Oh. I love his explanation, like she's gonna be cool with that. Like even if he's telling the truth, like that's not.
Yeah, he's saying
You know
anything
what I
he
mean?
can to get out of it. Yeah, of course.
But I actually believe he's telling the truth there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually what he thought. But like that's going to, after everything she just went through, like that's
Yeah.
gonna be like, she's gonna be like, oh, okay. You didn't
Yeah.
actually want to kill me. Like it's not about them trying to kill her at that point.
Yeah, I kind of like that he's like not really sure what way he's coming across, like a shitbag, coward, or like
Yeah.
mastermind, or
Yeah, he's like wavering between the two. Jesus Christ.
Fucking rich people.
So good.
Would you be after stabbing him by this point?
See, what I would have done is I'd wait for him to inherit all of it, marry, kill his ass, take it all. Because now that goes nowhere if she murders him.
But after everything you've been through and like being betrayed and shit.
I mean, I say that sitting here drinking a beer in my sweatpants. And then also, like, strong chance he just murders you at any point.
Exactly.
But I would be thinking about, like, all right, how can I fuck him over extra? Like, take all his money, make him think he's won.
You fucked up, dude.
She made the right move. That's the right move.
Yeah.
All of my other plans would have given ample time to murder me. Why? That's such a great line. Then Ice picks his ass.
Oh, fuck. Why the fuck not? Whoa!
I forgot about this. Cops finally show up. Way to go, boys in blue, you dickhead.
I mean, was there a need to shoot her?
Yeah.
The dude was already stabbed in the face and neck.
Typical cop violence.
Shoot first and ask questions later.
Pretty much.
My favorite thing, actually, without getting too off topic, and I don't like to get into these things, but I just find it, when I say hilarious, I obviously mean that as a sarcastic thing.
Well, of course.
When you see those videos of the cops, like, and they've like, you know, and I don't really know the context in some of the situations. Obviously, I'm not really even saying whether they're right or wrong, but they've put like fucking 8 bullets into a dude.
Yeah.
Screaming at him, telling them to like roll over, cross your ankle. I was like, motherfucker, you just unloaded a gun into his chest.
Oh shit!
That's a great ending. I forgot about that.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, if we want to get a little into it, like, they're too quick on the trigger, but when you do pull the trigger, you're supposed to like that's a moment where it's like, it's not just one shot, like you're doing all of it.
Right.
And they're too quick to get to that point. 1,000%. I would love if they didn't have guns, but that's not possible in this country because we all have guns. I love this movie, man.
It was really good. I enjoyed it.
I'm really surprised. Like, obviously, I know you can't really do a sequel, but I'm surprised that there
They
wasn't.
could. She lived.
Yeah, true. I'm just surprised there wasn't more of a push for something along the lines of that again.
I don't know if it did that well. Like, I actually don't know how I came across it.
Well, it was a very kind of indie-ish kind of movie, right? I don't think it had a huge theatrical release.
I really don't. I mean, I didn't see it in the theaters. I saw it just like for the year I had cable in the last like 15 years. Like for 1 year I had cable, and like I just happened to come upon it. Like, that's the only reason I even know what this is. I don't know what it was on. It was probably on like Stars or like
Stars
or
yeah,
some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, and I just like, that was probably like the time when I first moved here, and like I didn't work for like 6 months because I achieved one of my all-time goals. Was I had two professional goals. One was to get paid to play golf, which I achieved. And the other was to get paid to go away. And they paid me $6 for 6 months to not work there anymore. And that was my first 6 months here. And I didn't do anything, and I just like sat around all day and watched things like this.
That was awesome, dudes. Excuse me. I'm about to hit my nap time.
Fuck. I love that movie.
I'm feeling like, what is it here? 11:30 p.m.
Oh shit. Yeah.
It's 6:30 here.
Yeah. What do we want to do next week?
Whatever you guys want.
Do we want to like pivot to a little action?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
We've done a lot of horror.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I keep going
Looks
through
like
HBO Max, and I see these movies. I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. But I don't watch things that I know we're going to watch at some point.
What if
on
you
my
know
like
you want
list
to do
of-
at some point? Fucking Darkman.
I've
never seen Darkman.
Really?
I
No.
almost kind of want to just watch that separately, and then we come on your show, and then we just talk about Darkman.
Yeah,
because that's a classic. That's Sam
Yeah,
Raimi.
that's a
That's
good one.
Liam
Yeah.
Neeson. Yeah.
Actually, a good
What are
idea.
some horror action movies? I'm just gonna throw a bunch out. There's the new Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City. Army of the Dead. The Purge, or one of the Purge movies. The Hunt. The Meg. Constantine. Planet Terror, that could be a fun one. The Robert Rodriguez one, or Death Proof. Planet Terror or Death Proof, because Death Proof, I guess, is technically a horror, kind of a horror movie in a way, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Josh's internet just went out.
No way.
So do you want to just what do you think, Aaron? Do you want to do Death Proof, or do you want to do
I
Planet
don't mind.
Terror?
Whichever.
God, where's a coin? I was like, let me flip a coin. Let's do Death Proof because it's got or no, let's do Planet Terror because I feel like I haven't seen Planet Terror since the movie theater, and it's Robert Rodriguez. Let's see if either of them are streaming first. I feel like they might be on like Netflix or HBO. Planet Terror. It is not streaming. What about Death Proof? Death Proof is also not streaming. Son of a bitch. I guess we could always think about it too. See what we want. I think those would be fun. Though.
They never even crossed my mind, but they're two really good ones.
Yeah.
It wasn't so long.
I don't even think I've seen either of them since the movie theater. So that would be
they
fun.
must be like 15 or more years old?
Easily. 2007.
Yeah, I probably haven't seen that since then.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's do one of those.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll figure out which one.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good. Cool.
I suppose before we go then, do you want to get plugs in?
Yeah, for sure. ActionMovieBookClub.com. Also, check us out on Twitter at ActionMovieBC or on Instagram at ActionMovieBookClub. Hit us up on there if you have any questions, comments, concerns. And while you're at it, if you're listening to the show and you like it, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and now on Spotify. You could rate podcasts on Spotify now. Yeah, that'd help us out. Anything to boost us up in that algorithm, get us in more people's ears, because we love doing it and we want to keep doing it. So yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Everything JP said. Again, probably best social media to follow me on is First Class Horror on Instagram. I am actually trying to post on TikTok quite a bit now. Right?
Yeah.
I don't like TikTok at all, right?
I have no idea what TikTok is. I mean,
like,
I know what it is, but I don't know how to use it.
And I'm the same, and I'm trying so hard because I see so many people who are like, into social media and promotion and stuff talk about leveraging TikTok for your other things. And like, I will say, like, I started to post. I seen somebody say like the algorithm picks up accounts that post 4 times a day, which is like fucking insane, right?
That's a lot. Yeah,
I know, right? And I posted like 4 times a day for like a week, and I think I got like 2,000 followers in a week. And a lot of these guys seem to reckon that if you just use that, build up your following, and then try and like migrate them elsewhere, which is the only reason.
Yeah.
Same as you can get the podcast anywhere you can listen to podcasts. I am wanting to try and put a focus on Spotify now as well. I feel like that's starting to really pick up traction this year.
Definitely.
And yeah, just keep an eye out for next week. Same time. We might actually have a different layout next week when we do this.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
It'll either be, what do we say, Planet Terror or Death Proof?
Planet Terror, Death Proof. One of the Grindhouse movies. We haven't decided yet. We should also, if we can, we might, I don't know if we're able to on the streaming, but all those trailers that they played in between the two movies were fucking great. Thanksgiving and
I wanted to do something probably all ties in with this new program about being able to have like I suppose a pre-stream. So we would be able to set the stream live. We wouldn't actually be on it, but people can come in, maybe 20 minutes beforehand. And we'll have something put together every week.
That sounds great.
Trailers,
yeah, hell yeah.
So yeah, keep an eye out for next week. I'll say goodbye for Josh.
Yeah, he just texted me. His internet went out and he just restarted his router. So Josh will be here next week, and we'll see you then. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.